All right, guys, so knife round is live here. DWG versus FFire. And we are on Overpass. And looks like they're going to be doing a bit of a long A knife round here. As this is our second best of one of the evening. This is, we've gotten to the point where there's basically just 2 lower bracket matches in each round. So this is the round of 6. And, of course, the winner will move on. And the loser will drop out of the tournament. The gauntlet, as Laser has coined it. And once again, I am Sprawl. By my side is Bach. And we'll find out. I was actually midway through. Bach, who won the knife round?
That would have been DWG. So they selected the CT side, and in my opinion, they're definitely going to want it. FFire, a very talented team on Overpass. Currently 4-1 in our last 3 tournaments on this map, beating out Area 51, I believe, twice. Their only loss is actually to Area 51, or no, it's to Torqued, I believe. That was in the lower bracket of, not the last tournament, but the tournament before.
Pissed around, about to go live. DWG on the CT side. And we'll see how this pistol round goes. Obviously, on a very CT-sided map, or any map that's just kind of favored in one direction, pistol rounds usually going to be the most level of playing field. So let's see what kind of strategy the CT side goes for. And I do want to point out that on FFire, they're using Joey and Emong. So Strebber is not playing tonight. So we'll see how that affects them. Joey, though, is... my understanding is they're regular 6, so here we go. It's going to be a mid-play just coming right up the middle. Justin finding the first frag, and they drop both of the aggressive CTs. That's a huge pickup as they're heading towards bomb side A, but there is a flank in Foblis. We'll see if they leave a player left to catch him out, and we'll get in a duel here, as it will be Ellie who's left in that position. So all the CTs going down, though. They're pushing up long. It's now going to be Fabian and Foblis. Foblis comes up the stairs. Justin tries his hardest to get the frag in. Now looking for a knife kill. But Ellie will put an end to all that madness. So 1-0. Big pistol round pickup for the T side and Phoenix. And I do believe we had both kind of talked about it. Phoenix definitely the favorite coming into this map.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've actually played DWG twice. I think it was in our last tournament. They played DWG twice. So they played them in the upper bracket, beat them 2-0, and then went down into the lower bracket and beat them there as well, 16-9. So FFire has bested this team before, and based on the betting odds, I think that's what people seem to expect to continue. And, I mean, this is a map that FFire is very good at. Like we said, 4-1 in our last tournaments on Overpass. They played it once so far this tournament, and they 16-1'd Area 51. Starting on the T side, if I'm not mistaken. I think they started on the T side. I mean, they obliterated Area 51. They might have started CT, I don't really remember. I'd have to pull it up, but, I mean, it was just a trouncing. And that's what they've been known to do on this map. And you can see they're doing it in this round as well. That's already 4 down for the CT side of DWG. They do get 2 kills. So sort of the standard eco round, getting 2 kills. So they're going to drop 2 rifles out of the hands of FFire. But any rounds they can put on the T side is great. They want to try and get these 3 rounds in a row. And then they only need to pick up 2 more to get that kind of standard 5-round set. And I don't know if you agree, but I think that FFire is honestly one of the best teams I've seen play this map.
Yeah, they're pretty darn solid. And to answer your question, they did start as CT side, but
okay, they did.
Doesn't mean that you can't pull off something crazy here on their T side start, as Emong finds the first one in Salmo, trying to push up towards the fountain area, but doesn't work out in his favor. Fabian playing on bomb site B. Foblis as well. Foblis goes down as they peek aggressively. This Ellie coming in from the canal. Carbon is still alive inside of the water here, and they haven't spotted him out quite yet. Ellie, though, finding another frag. A triple kill for him thus far, and Robbie is just way over. Just playing his own game on log A at the moment, so we'll see if he can find any frags. But being this far away, not really sure what kind of effect he's going to have on the round.
Yeah, I mean, he does have
The P2000.
a decent pistol. I mean, I was a P2000. I thought it was a P250. I couldn't tell. P2K. He's got the vanilla buy. They're going to probably force up in the next round and go for FAMASs and maybe an M4 if they can get one based on their money. Actually, no, what am I talking about? It'll be the 4th round. They can go for a full buy here. Miscounting rounds here in my head. But that's FFire picking up the 3rd round. They're still holding on to those Galils. Silent hasn't actually picked up a kill yet with his. So maybe he'll get his pop his cherry 4 kills in this round here, round number 4, the full buy from both teams. But the big thing, there's not a single kit on DWG. Kind of surprising when you're coming into a full buy.
And Robbie with an op is going to drop down the stairwell. We've got Salmo posted up at the top, making sure he doesn't get flanked, and the rest of the CTs are pushed up towards construction. So very grouped up play for DWG. But you can see the hard counter to this play is a long A rush. And not that they're completely rushing there. Robbie does find one frag in Ellie, but they obviously now know where the AWP is located, or at least one of them. Obviously, they don't know for certain, but you could probably guess that you wouldn't want to... two ups in this first rifle round, especially, but nonetheless, coming up towards long. We're going to see the bomb carrier in Joey. He's got Emog with him, as well as Silent. And this certainly could work out in their favor. Fabless and Fabian playing pretty passive on this A bomb site right now. So playing positions where, if you know the smokes for the site, they could get cut off right away. And yeah, one smoke sailing in, and that's going to be actually a little bit off its mark. It's not going to be at the top of the stairs like they intended it to, so they re-smoke, but still not a great one as there's a big gap in it. Carbon's going to find one frag as he's flanking up. Emog does connect onto Salmo, and getting aggressive here is... That's going to be Silent going down to the pistol of Robbie, but Fabless has made his way all the way through the bank, and I don't know if they've realized this, as it will be Fabless picking up that frag on an Emog now. It's all up to Justin. He's playing towards the stairs, and before this was changed, it would be obviously he's coming from Electric Box, but now they are going to know what's going on. They're just sticking the bomb right now, but without... Oh, they will grab the frag, so that was a little scary without a kit, but eventually it will go in favor of DWG, their first CT side round. But it was an expensive one. They get that op. But like I said, 3 players going down. Expensive round for the CT side.
Yeah, we had touched about it at the beginning of the round, the fact that they didn't buy a single kit, and it almost came back to bite them because of the fact that they did have to stick a 10-second defuse. And really, it was just good play from DWG to hold that man off from pushing upstairs so they could get that defuse. And if he had killed that player, I mean, he could have bought enough time. If he got it down to 5 seconds and then killed him, he could have bought enough time just there alone to prevent a defuse from happening. But it is going to be the round for DWG, and I did pull up some map statistics while you were doing the play-by-play there. FFire has played Overpass 5 times, like you said. They're 4-1. They've only started on the T side twice, so in 5 games, they've only ever started on the T side twice, and they are 1-1 in those instances. 16-12 over Area 51. And in the other match, they lost to Torqued. I believe it was 16-11. So not as dominant a performance when starting from the T side. They obviously have a lights-out CT side, but we really haven't gotten to see them play it from the T side in a while.
Pushing into this B bomb site. 2 frags already going the way of the CT side. Joey will open up, though, as Carbon goes down. Fabless still alive in pit. But Joey with the second frag here. Fabian gets him through the box. Silent creates a 1v2. So with the bomb on his back, he's just making sure that there's no one here on this close flank as he's going to peek towards heaven and spots out that there is an op playing up there. So needs to be pretty careful here without any grenades to get this bomb down. It's going to be a little bit rough, and oh, he actually crouch peeks out. Robbie not able to capitalize on that as he's playing a little bit of a passive angle. Silent coming up onto Salmo. If he can find this frag, nope, he's going to look the wrong direction. And he will go down. So DWG, they're able to get another round. But again, significant losses. 3 players going down. Their economy not blossoming quite yet.
Yeah, their money isn't necessarily amazing, but it's good enough. They're going to be facing off against an eco round here from FFire. I'm kind of excited to see this team start on the T side. They've been very good in our previous tournaments. They've made it to the finals 2 tournaments in a row, coming in second, and both times they lost 16-14 in 2 maps to the team that came from the uppers. That was Ignite in our last tournament, And then in the previous one, CLG, giving people a big scare both times because it looked like they could maybe mount a decent best-of-3 comeback, but they just weren't able to put those pieces together. We're going to see Robbie open things up here in round number 6, AWP in hand, and he is going to connect on to Emong. So it's going to be one Tech-9 out of the hands of the T side. A 5v4. Bomb is making its way towards mid right now, towards the bathroom area. You see Robbie trying to spam through that concrete. You used to be able to shoot through that. I'm not sure if you still can or not. I've tried it many times myself, but it doesn't seem to connect. Silent is going to get a kill here for FFire. Robbie really struggling with this op here. He does get another one, but he is getting pushed. He needs to be careful. He's going to toss a flash that doesn't really have too much of effect on those players pushing up long. I think he thought a better bounce would come in. They do have an AK on this T side right now, and that's Silent holding it down. He's coming towards long. They're going to push this up, and Robbie is just not finding the shot on these players. He's going to have to fall behind his own smoke. There's Fabless with the support. Robbie misses yet another shot, so this off change definitely affecting players. And there's another one. My goodness, I think Robbie there missed probably 7 or 8 shots consecutively before finally finding a kill, and that just shows you how big that update. I actually haven't even played since the update because I've been so busy, so I haven't had a chance to test it. Have you been able to test it and see how bad it is?
It makes it really hard unless you're quick scoping, which again it's not really like 1.6 where you kind of have like your quick scope is pretty on point in terms of where you're trying to aim it. It's a bit of a random factor there in the quick scope here, so it makes it really difficult to get aggressive picks on the T side. CT, though, if you're planted in one spot, it should, in theory, favor the person who is holding an angle, but Silent is going to kind of shut me up there as he gets some aggressive picks out long, so apparently he's adapted to that AWP, but yeah, definitely it's different, that's for certain, and I think it favors some passive play.
Yeah, see, I haven't had a chance to really test it to see, but I know that a lot of players are complaining about it. Players who would normally offer are kind of steering clear from it, and I've seen players who are usually really good with it struggling to hit shots. One of those players, actually Silent, who has an op in his hand this round, and he has 2 kills with it as well, so maybe he had a little bit of playtime since their last match to kind of work with it and get used to the changes. It is going to be a 4v2, Carbon and Fabian versus Silent, Justin, Ellie, and Emong. The only player dead for the T side is Joey, and it's going to be a save here from the CT side. Really no surprise there. 2 players up in a 2v4, bomb planted, lots of smokes out. And they do have kits. They have rifles, obviously. Carbon has a Tech-9 as well, full armor. They have a lot of money sitting on those players. So it doesn't make any... it's not any surprise to me that these players are going to try and save. But it looks like FFire is going to be on the hunt a little bit. Ellie pushing up towards Fountain is going to try and spot one of these players out. So that's going to put FFire, though, on the 4th round. And we talked about it in our last match, that 4 is the bare minimum. 5 being kind of the gold standard for the average T side.
Yeah, and Carbon almost got caught
close.
out there as he was playing on the ladder. Very, very close. So, but being that they saved that weapon, I'm curious as to... Are they going to switch off that weapon to Faba? So they are going to force up here. That was my main question, because they still had quite a bit of money on Fabless, and you can see that they're able to equip everybody, but Fabian's going to stick with that 5-7. So we'll find out how this round plays out, but certainly they've got no money left if they drop this round. But the T's, they got a little bit to play with. Ellie with 5,200. You could probably drop and do some sort of Tech-9 play or something to that effect. Heading up long, though, it's going to be FFire. And that last round, they were able to just kind of work picks until it was just basically an outnumbered situation. They got the bomb planted in A, and I believe that one of the players, I can't remember if it was Carbon or not, but nonetheless, they were pushed up towards the A bomb site, heard the bomb about to be planted, but ended up just retreating off. So at the point where they're actually taking the bomb site already, too slim in numbers for the CT side to really defend, especially being out of position like that. I like the spot by Robbie. He was just on top of Salmo's head inside of the A bomb site. As I kind of peek up over top of it, get a nice scope into mid, but still very slow play here coming out from FFire, and it looks like they're going to be taking this A execute.
I don't know if you saw that smoke from Ellie. He was sitting back in T-spawn. He actually had a nice little run smoke that smoked off the old roll-up door by bathrooms that has since been replaced with just a narrow opening. That's going to be Salmo opening the roundup, though, on Silent. Joey is there with the trade. It's going to make it a 4v4, and they still have a player very close in sight. Robbie going for the shotgun off play, and it does not work out. That's going to be Emong picking him off. And now they're going to get in a great position to stop this. Justin and Joey get 2 quick frags. It's now on Carbon to make it happen, and he can't. So that's 5 rounds now for FFire. And the money on the CT side is completely broken, so it's going to be an eco from them. FFire could potentially take 6 rounds. And to be fair, we haven't really seen this map played yet. We've seen it once or twice. We don't really know, with the current changes, what a common scoreline is going to be. Based on small sample size, though, it's still CT-sided, just maybe not as much as it used to be. That A bomb site is easier to take than it was before.
Yeah, and I like, our stream cannot see chat, but Robbie was just saying, how do you guys know these new smokes? And one of the things I like about new maps in general, or just changes, obviously changes, they need to be actually justified, but what I'm getting at is the harder working team usually is going to come out with the advantage, because they've just put the time in. And FFire, you can see that they've had a little bit of experience here on this new map, and they obviously reaping the rewards here. 5 rounds, and now against an ecoing CT side could definitely be 6, but no, not if Carbon has something to say about it. Takes down 2 as they're flanking right now. Samo is going to try and get more done as he's found the bomb and actually grabs an AK-47, so coming up from behind, but Joey puts him away. The flank coming in once again, though, from Fabian, and they're just able to work so many angles, and that flank, obviously, on the stairwell worked out beautifully.
Yeah, they got pinched on Cat, and that's just tough. You saw Silent just going back and forth, not really sure what to do with that off. But this is, going on to your comment about nades, something we've praised FFire for in the past is their nade knowledge, which I feel like I want to coin that now because it seems like such a cool thing to say. It's like nade knowledge. Alliteration is key to making awesome sayings work. But consistently on multiple maps, we've seen them use Molotovs to their advantage. Clever smokes, flashes, pop flashes. It seems like it's something they spend a decent amount of time practicing. And you can see it here on Overpass. This is a map that had changes not that long ago, and they already know some good smokes. And DWG is really caught off guard by it. And speaking of caught off guard, that's going to be Silent shooting Salmo in the back of his dome. So it's going to make it a 5v4, but Robbie catching him through the smoke, even things out. Makes it a 4v4, minute and 5 seconds left on the round. Plenty of time for Phoenix to kind of mix it up here. This is a map very well known for its rotates back and forth between the bomb site. That stairwell over towards water just gives the CTs and Ts so much flexibility with the way they play the map. But there is Fabulous getting tagged down very low in the A site. Carbon does come up with a kill onto Ellie. So that's going to give them the advantage right now. It's going to be a 4 versus 3. I'm trying to see where Carbon would have gotten that kill from. It would have been into B bomb site, so I'm assuming that pushed up into pipe. Yeah, he did. He pushed short pipe and got gunned down, but it's a 3-man take right now on the A bomb site. A 3-man hold, so the 3-on-3 taking place over here at A. Justin with a nice over that smoke, Justin jumping over the box. Getting on that trash can, gets a good angle, but there is Robbie1 with the trade for the CT side. Wow, Robbie1 with the shotgun frag from his off. He's trying to spot a player in the smoke. He is not there. Justin just holding the angle by planners right now. He's going to get the first one. He's got the angle. He's going to go for that second. Just bobbing and weaving right now with that AK, tapping away.
No.
Too late. The one tap from Fabulous comes in the middle of a reload for Justin, so that's going to be a round for DWG. Another expensive round for them, almost losing 4 rifles, potentially even the 5th player. I mean, he was so close to picking that up, only about 20 HP between those 2 players. But, I mean, FFire just looks so good on this map, and it's really just because of how coordinated they are.
Completely agree. 5-5, great scoreline for them. As now, DWG is going to face a bit of a broke T side. They forced up, but with Tech9's, Justin the only one with an AK in hand. CT is sending 2 down the stairwell very early on. Robbie just finding new areas to pick from. Fabian's going to watch his flank. Here comes the mid pressure, though, as getting Fabian coming out from the stairwell, and they get spotted out here. Fabian with the first frag. Robbie holding close with a pistol in hand, but it's going to be Fabian with another, but they both line up and go down. And that just fell apart in one single swoop. T's come in. And now it's going to be Carbon and Carbon and Fabulous left. They're both playing at this A-bomb site, so they have a pretty good read. Actually, Carbon rotating back around. Not convinced that it's going to be an A-side play, but oh, Fabulous will land onto Ellie. And that's a nice pickup to create a 2v2.
Yeah, especially because Ellie had an op and he was holding the angle wonderfully. Just couldn't quite get him through the smoke. Fabulous, I guess, saw a leg or an arm. I didn't see it from his perspective, but he ended up taking that player out with a nice headshot. And just watching the VOD, the delay on the stream, I was able to see what happened there. So that was in fact the case. But look at Fabulous here, the slow flank. He's going to actually surrender the bomb site and let them plant, assuming that these Ts know what's going on and they get there fast enough. Emong and Silent just taking their time, and they are going to get flanked hard here if they're not careful. Here comes Fabulous. Very patient play with the AK. Gets the first one, and he's going to tail off now. He knows that other player has got to be there. Emong trying to get this bomb down for his team, get him some guaranteed cash. And he's going to go for the plant right on the chuck. Oh, he manages to get the no-scope. And plenty of time to plan here, so it's going to create a 1v1. Fabulous getting in a very aggressive position. Emong can't make it happen. Fabulous pulling off the 3K. And all on the heels of that huge flank. But another expensive round. You can't undersell that enough, or oversell that. The money on the CT side, it's the expensive side to play on as it is. So you already have to spend more money just to play on that side because the rifles are more expensive. You have to buy kits. It's the way the game plays out. So that eco round for FFire, very good. The Tech 9 armor buy works for them so many times. They are so good with those Tech 9 buys. So if they can win this round, they can actually put DWG onto an eco after winning 3 straight.
Robbie's going to drop down the stairwell here and get spotted out. Haven't found a frag quite yet. There's the first, though, as Emong goes down. The B bomb site, though, looks to be the target for the terrorists. Carbon going to be spraying through the wood a little bit, hoping to connect with someone as they're going in through the squeaky door. But now all the CTs making it back to that A bomb site, so they can rotate really quickly when they're playing passively on A. Robbie jump peeking towards squeaky door. Can see that there's no one there quite well. They are there, but not in the specific spot he was peeking through. And wow, Silent. Lucky to have his life as Robbie spamming through just grazes him, or just misses him, rather. And now they're going to be pushing up, but Joey, all alone, goes down. Robbie with a frag on an Ellie, and Silent won't be able to get one. This is looking like a good round thus far for the CTs. They need to get through some of these rounds. Like we were saying, keeping some players alive. Silent. Playing the Silent game here. Wow, gets one, but Fabian will go down. A little ninja like that from Silent.
They were sitting right next to each other. I don't know how that happened, but they were literally right next to each other. And I can actually see on the replay that Carbon could actually see him. Silent was very patient.
Oh, wow.
And just sitting there. Carbon was still kind of flashed, so he probably just didn't catch him out of the corner of his eye. But you could see the rifle kind of looking back and forth, and he just didn't spot it. Nonetheless, though, that was the round for DWG. A decent round from FFire there, but it's gonna put them back on eco yet again, going for the Tech 9 armor buy. They're basically gifted this B bomb site. The player that is holding B is way back. That's gonna be Carbon, back by construction for CT side, and Fabian just way out of position. I think in upper, he just wasn't able to prevent this, but they still don't manage to get the bomb plant. Emong finally gonna put it down here. So that's the round victory in a way. They do get that bomb plant. It's going to give them some more money coming into round number 14. They're going to have lost 4 straight, so they're going to be pretty much flush to the gills with cash for the remaining 2 rounds, because even if they lose the next one, the money that they'll have left over will give them probably enough just to buy, especially if they get a bomb plant. But still, 5 rounds on the T side, pretty good for FFire. They probably want to pick up 1 more if they can, make it 9-6 at least. And we are going to see an up-buy here from Silent. So we talked about this before. Silent has really struggled, and so has Robbie 1 in instances with that op since the changes. I kind of frown upon it. I don't want to see teams continue to buy just because they're used to it. I would like to see them wait until things change or spend more time to practice it.
Yeah, Silent, that AWP once again. Robbie, where is he playing this time? He will be pushed up in washrooms. Not going for an aggressive mid-pick towards Fountain, but he is pushed up quite a bit. Will fall back, though, as they're sending some spray in his direction. Pushed up long, and Fabulous needs to be very careful. He's actually found his way between a couple smokes. So at the moment, ooh, would have just heard the bomb drop there. So throwing that bomb, Robbie with the first frag onto Justin. Big pickup here, and Fabulous does find Joey, and he gets another one in Emong, and this is falling apart as, again, that smoke just kept Fabulous so alive. as obviously they weren't able to kind of push through it. Robbie takes down Ellie. He's found his marksmanship here. 2 frags on the round for him. Silent left with an AWP and a 1v4. And I'd like to strip away some weapons, but at this point, probably looking for a round victory. He's got 35 seconds. And a 1v3 and an op. Again, it's kind of turned into less of a mobile. If it already wasn't that mobile of a weapon, certainly now. I mean, you got a quick scope everywhere. Not the most mobile gun. And he doesn't have a Tech 9. He doesn't have that second primary. Nade comes up from Robbie, but Silent now pushing towards site. He's going to have to check close right here and finds the frag onto Robbie. Creates a 2v1. And he's going to be trying to plant. Oh, he's planting on the side where Fabian will be able to find the frag. So from Bank, just stays very patient, waits for that bomb plant noise, and pounces on his opponent.
If you could have gotten that money for planting the bomb, it would have definitely helped. You can see they still have enough to buy, but just a little CSGO economy lesson for everyone out there. The reason they were able to buy is obviously because they lost the round. They have that loss bonus at this point. After losing 5 rounds, you get $3,500 or $3,400 for losing a round. If you could have gotten the bomb plant, that's an additional $800. So if he got the bomb plant and then won, they actually would have gotten, let's see, they would have gotten 40.50, but because they lost, they actually got 42.50. Or no, they would have gotten 42.50 had you got the bomb plant. This round, though, it's going to be Fabless rocking the Scar 20. No surprise, it's the final round. They're just using their money to their advantage. Robbie is going to pick off 2. Fabless has 1, so it's going to make a 5v2 already. 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the round. This is happening very quickly here. So FFire pretty much going to be looking at this 10-5 scoreline. There goes Joey. It's all on Justin now, 1v5. He would have to pull off an ace here in the final round to give his team that 9-6 scoreline. And it's going to be pretty difficult. He gets tagged by the Scar 20 boosted over the truck in A site. He's going to try and jump over that planter and just fails live on stream. So don't worry, Justin. We saw that. We'll VOD it, send you the clip. But it's important to know the last time that FFire played this starting on the T side and won, they only got 4 rounds on the T side, and then when they switched over to the CT side, they just locked it down, and locked it down hard. They only let up 1 round. So, shows you just how good their CT side is.
Yeah, I think this is still, even with 10 rounds, DWG has their work cut out for them. But we'll find out. Obviously, Pistol Round holds a lot of weight here, but I do want to point you guys once again in the direction of our giveaways. We're actually very close to our Karambit Blue Steel giveaway for our subscribers. So I think we're, yeah,
19.
There we go.
19 more.
19 more. So if you guys want to support and have yourself entered into a giveaway for that, certainly check that out. But if you want to enter one that's just on Twitter, LuminosityGG hooking us up with a minimal wear P250 Muertos. Again, I butcher it, but I try, guys. I try. But you can get in on that simply by following LuminosityGG as well as GoRGN TV and then retweeting that specific tweet mentioning that P250. So shout out to them for hooking us up once again. Generosity on that organization. Fantastic. They honestly are always giving away skins. So shout out to them. Really appreciate their support here, but round about to go live. And like we said, a lot of weight on the pistol round, especially for DWG. They want to make sure FFire gets no momentum on this CT half, as, like we were saying, 16-1 against Area 51. Not too shabby at all. And if they get that momentum early in this CT half, they could just run away with things, quite simply. DWG, though, on the other hand, they can pick up that pistol. With 10 rounds, they might be able to make it work here, but certainly they're going to have a strong T side to best FFire.
Yeah, absolutely. FFire CT side, on a lot of the maps they play, is very good. It's very coordinated. But this map especially, we watched what they did to Area 51. Every time they've played the CT side, it's been very good. I wish I had a statistic. I'd have to pull it up for how many rounds they've won on the CT side of this map. But I know that they just won 14 against Area 51. The last time they played starting on the T side, it was also against Area 51, and they won 12. I mean, this is very much a consistent thing for FFire to have this really good CT side. So obviously DWG needs to pick up the pistol round. They can't give Phoenix anything, because if Phoenix picks up the pistol round, they're going to be able to get those 3 rounds, close the gap to 2, and then it's that much harder for DWG to try and pull this out. That said, though, if DWG picks up pistol round, getting that score to 13-5, it really puts Phoenix Fire's backs against the wall, because even though their CT side is very good, they have to basically be flawless, because they can only lose 2 rounds before it's going to at least overtime.
3 on the B bomb site here. They've got Ellie pushed up in stairwell, and it's going to be Emong that's playing mid. And last time we saw him playing with Phoenix Fire, he was doing work in mid. So we'll see if that trend continues. Ellie in a pretty advantageous position, considering this is going to be a B-side take. If he can find a timing here, and he maybe opens it a little bit too soon, as Fabulous does spot him out. Heading into this B bomb site, it is going the way of Phoenix Fire right at the moment. And yeah, Silent doing work. 3 frags for him. Fabulous left in a 1v2. He's got a Tech 9, but Emog's going to find the frag. Big round, like we were saying. CT side will pick up that pistol round, and now Phoenix Fire's well on their way to a comeback here. And like we were saying very early on, 4 rounds minimum, 5. You do have quite a bit to work with, especially with that pickup.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw where Silent was playing that. He was right on the edge of that smoke on Spangler pole. That's right, Spangler. It's the Spangler pole. We're officially calling it that. And he just was like basically putting the P2K directly against the temple of the terrorists he killed. They were right next to him. So he just popped out, got 2 quick ones, and then he wrapped around Spangler pole. Same thing. 2 quick kills for him. So excellent work from them in the pistol round. It's going to put the T's on Eco. Obviously, they're going to be executing over towards B right now. It does appear they have 3 players in water. 1 player working his way towards short tunnel, and that is the man with the bomb. That's going to be Carbon. Carbon does have head armor. Fabulous and Samo picking up body armor. So trying to put a little bit of their money into some armor. Robbie 1 kind of lurking right now over towards Party with the P250. Samo's going to take the first damage of the round on the T side. He's down to 41. Fabulous at 95. Very slow round considering what their buy entails. You would expect speed from these pistols. You know, most people want to see those guns get into an aggressive position. That is a gun that has been changed recently as well, obviously lowering the clip. It actually seemed to affect the pistol rounds early on for Phoenix Fire. There was that one situation where Silent got into a 1v2, and oh no, that was actually the last game. There was a 1v2 situation where a player had to reload because he ran out of ammo, and in that time, Volcanium got the defuse. So if it was still that big clip, he probably would have been able to stave that off. But here comes Phoenix Fire shutting this down. Emong and Ellie just doing absolute work here. That's going to be 2 quick ones for Fabian, so at least it's going to give them some kills on the round, but I imagine this is going to be a very difficult situation for him to even try and get the bomb plant, and there you go. Phoenix Fire losing 2 players, but that is somewhat standard. They did go for a more expensive buy here in the FAMAS buy. They had, I think, 1 player with the SMG, and I think that was Ellie? I want to say. Was that Ellie with the SMG? Or was
with
that
the
Emong?
MP7, that was Emong, and that's the first time I've actually been able to see it since it's come out. I watched a little bit and just kind of like demos on YouTube and that kind of thing, but
yeah, because that changed too, right?
Exactly. So it's more of a run and gun kind of rifle now, and I think that its accuracy while you're doing that, you could see he was pretty light on his feet, just tapping away and finding the headshots. So see how that affects things.
Oh no.
Oh no. God, the meat grinder.
Oh, no.
Joey letting it rip here, and gonna be Silent with the 4th frag, but Joey ends up getting a 4K of his own. Definitely could have been an ace if Silent decided to be a nice guy, but we'll take that from him. No, I'm joking. He will get that 1 frag, 4K for Joey, 8-10, as will be the first rifle round coming in for DWG, and it's a lot riding here, as if Phoenix Fire picks it up, they just continue their string of rounds, and also their economy just continues to look really, really good. At this point, their economy's not great, so this would be a huge round, obviously, for DWG. They're going to be putting a number of players toward this B bomb site. We've got Carbon inside of bottom of stairwell here in the long hall, and he's just waiting for some sort of CT aggression that, as you can see, it's not going to be found. Emong with a nice boost inside of mid at the moment. Won't be spotting anything. So slow round thus far from DWG.
You kind of wonder watching that last round, like as I saw them running towards short tunnel, I knew exactly what was going to happen. Armorless T's running into a smoke, they're going to get obliterated. The previous round, they bought Armor Tech 9, and they played slow. In that round, they buy pistols, no armor, and they just run into a slaughter. They just hand it around to Phoenix Fire. Just because it's a full save doesn't mean it's a free victory. You can still fight for those rounds and do some damage. So I feel like DWG just kind of gave that to FFire there. This round, they are going to be working their way back over towards B, so probably more executions on B than I'm used to seeing on this map. It's going to be Joey opening things up, Foulness with the response, so it's going to make it a 4v4. And Joey trying to hold down those toxic barrels, can't make it happen. Salmo cleaning his head off. So it's going to make it a 4v3. All three of these players, actually the third player, Emong, still over towards A, 2 players back towards CT. And here they go. They are pushing into sight. Ellie gets the first one, but Justin is going to get dropped. Ellie holding down Pit. And Carbon pulls him Super Mario Mushroom Stomp, landing right on his head. So now it's on Emong to make this happen. A 1v3 gets the first one. If any player was going to do this, it'd be Emong. Emong with many years of invite experience himself. He spots a player in Pit as he does get shot at just a bit. He jumps up on the railing, gets one, goes for the spam on the other, can't make it happen. Carbon picking up a 3K. Very dangerous round there for DWG. Emong almost picking up the clutch, but a very expensive round for DWG. So they are going to still buy up here, but not exactly the best buy. Probably going to see a Galil or 2, as you're going to see Salmo very low on money. Probably going to have to pick up the Galil. They only are going to have to go with 1. And he may even opt for a Tech 9 based on how much these teams both enjoy that pistol, but he is going to go for that Galil buy. But, I mean, that round came so close, all on the heels of Emong.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw how Fabulous, he peeked up, he jumped on top of sandbags, and I actually haven't seen, I don't even know, I think you need a boost to get up there, so a second player helped him out, and from sandbags on top of it, you can actually spot towards heaven, and that's where Silent went down to start the whole round off, and Fabulous just stayed up there, and you can jump and actually spot people as they're coming in from the lower CT side of A, so, or rather, B, that the double door is coming through there, so anyhow, I really like that. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen that before, so works out well for them. And now DWG tasked with getting another round here. CTs have been able to buy once again, but both teams with pretty much no economy. So a lot on the line for both of these guys. FFire, we'll see if they learn a bit of a lesson, as Fabulous again was able to get those crucial entries into the B bomb site. They're slowly moving up Canal right now through Pipeway. It's going to be Salmo, Fabian, and Robbie. Molotov comes up into Toxic Barrels. No one playing there. Flashbang comes out. White screens 2 of the players. A second one comes in, and they're just counter-flashing like crazy at this point. 30 seconds left. They're going to have to force this issue for DWG. They're heading up, again, from the back of Canal, but this is a very slow take, and thus far, just no frags coming in. Finally, Silent. First blood in the round, and Justin cleans up as well as Fabian gets aggressive, and Carbon now in a 1v4. He's just going to escape as he wants to hang onto that weapon. So they try and work it really, really slow, and actually Justin's going to hunt him down. So not even able to save that weapon. FFire take that swing round, and this is good for them. They break the economy completely of that T side.
Ooh, they really break it. And they're actually going to force up here. Look at, I mean, this is like second round. We didn't get a bomb plant and pistol broken. Players at 17 and 1600. This is a very rough round here for DWG. I have a feeling if they lose this, it's probably going to be another eco. So FFire could actually tie it up in the next round if they take this. The story of that last round was they got those smokes on site and they flashed their way out, but then FFire counter-flashed so well that DWG couldn't push, and by the time the execution came, the smokes had faded. So they were basically running into the site without the cover that they so desperately needed. So it was an excellent play there from FFire to try and shut down that B push. And this round, it looks like it's actually going to be an A take in the first one in a while for DWG. They have 2 players on long, one actually rotating his way over through bathrooms. That's going to be Salmo. Fabian is there as well, pushed all the way up on bathrooms, and Robbie 1 still kind of lurking behind the rest of his team. He's the man with the bomb coming up from the stair. They still have a smoke on Carbon and a flash on Falbus, so they're probably going to use that flash to get their way into the site, and then the smoke to hold off the angle. But there you see Ellie connecting onto Salmo. So it's going to be the first frag. Robbie is going to get into the site with that Tech 9, and he gets 1, but he doesn't plant the bomb. Kind of questionable play there from him. If he could have planted that bomb, they might have had a little bit more money here to get a potential buy-in. Obviously, that extra $800, it definitely helps. They still would have been pretty broke. But because they went for a Tech 9 armor there, you kind of have to get that bomb plant. You can't not get that money. You put so much into it, you at the very least need to get that bomb. So DWG really struggling to find their footing here on the T side. FFire looking to tie it up.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be doing one of these boosts in mid. Once again, Ellie is going to be receiving it, though. I believe Emong was working that peak last time, but now Ellie with an M4 in hand, but some action towards this B bomb site. We've got a number of terrorists outside in construction. Actually, some spray goes through. Drops Fabulous down very low, just straight up eco round. Salmo, the only one that opted to get some armor in the round. P250 as well, but very slow play. Maybe a little bit traumatized from last time they just tried to straight push into the canal area. Just got completely cleaned up, but looks like Robbie's going to just force the issue with the bomb as well. Luckily for them, Salmo is going to get 2. Now they're going to be pushing up into this B bomb site. 3v3. Salmo's able to get an M4 in hand as well. Fabulous with an AWP. This certainly could work in their direction, but that nade is going to be now a 1v1. Ellie versus Salmo. Working around the pillar. Ellie in decent position. Salmo, he's got 53 seconds, so he's got some time to play with. Ellie will be using an incendiary, but oh, it just pops a little bit too high, and Salmo finds the frag. That fell apart, and that is around Salmo. Should have no business clutching. The only player with armor. He's able to get those 2 frags, find a nice weapon as well. Huge play there from Salmo.
I don't like that. I have a problem with the way that mollies and incendiaries work and that they just explode.
It's like fire in the air, it's fireworks instead.
To me, it doesn't make any sense. Especially because if you're going for realism and saying that, you know, yes, a charge timer would mean it would just blow up in the air, then the burning particles of whatever is in that grenade would fall to the ground with it. It's not like, oh, sorry, we burned in midair, we just disintegrate and vanish. Like, it's like flash paper all of a sudden. It's not burning fuel. So I don't really like that, and I've had an issue with it in the past. I kind of wish they would get rid of it. I think that those grenades should only explode when they hit the ground. That's just my take on it. This round, we're going to see Emong open things up with a headshot onto Salmo. The CT side had plenty economy built up to go for a buy here. So they are going to take down the player who clutched it in the last round. And that was with a nice boost over the window in bathroom. So there's going to be 3 men over towards the A bomb site right now. At least that's how it appears. Actually, Silent is down towards window room, and he is actually very lit. 12 HP. He needs to be careful here. He could easily catch an nade in this position. Pushes his way up towards the old E-box. He's going to be holding down the stairs with one other. He spots the body of one crossing over. I believe that was Carbon making his way back towards bathrooms. But he can't seem to find the shot. He did barely catch the angle. Right now, DWG making their way towards the A bomb site. Plenty of time left here for the CT side to shut this down. All they need to do is kill 1 or 2 players here, and they can end this entirely, but that's actually going to be DWG opening the bomb site up. Fabulous puts a little bit of damage out to his team. Somehow actually doesn't hit his player, even though he sprayed directly on top of him. The flank comes in from Joey, though. That's going to be 1 kill, 2 kills. Makes it a 2v3. But there goes Joey to the gun of Carbon. Silent with 1 HP, picks up a frag, puts it all on Carbon to make this happen. Justin's getting aggressive, not taking this duel, and there you go. Phoenix. Somehow Phoenix Fire makes that happen. A player with 1 HP gets the kill, holds the bomb. Smart play there from them, not putting that player, obviously, with 1 HP onto the hunt. The lack of kit on him also made it somewhat dangerous. But round number 11 no less, and DWG right back in eco territory.
Yeah, I think a sigh of relief collectively across Phoenix Fire as they're able to find that round. As, again, they keep on kind of giving one up here and there, as long as they don't let them string too many, as the last rounds that the T-side have won, 19 and 22, they've singularly only won those rounds. Only 2 for the T-side thus far, as it was a 10-5 half. So Phoenix Fire definitely getting the majority of the rounds, and if this ratio kind of stays the same, it's going to turn close, to be honest with you. I was going to say one wins, the other loses, but we're going to have Emog opening up here, and this is another round where we just have armor pistols. Ellie with the second frag. They're just trying to force the issue at the front side of A, but not going their direction at all. Silent hitting 2 of the frags. Ellie with 2 as well. Emog with 1. And we have a tie score line, and that's a scary situation, being that CT side of Phoenix Fire's looked pretty damn decent. The only rounds that we've really seen kind of go sideways is, for one, Fabulous getting that kind of cheeky boost on sandbags and opening up that B bomb site, and then that Glock train that turned into Salmo, the only one buying a P250 armor. The rest of the team with a Glock, and he's able to get a 4K. So some individual plays to get those rounds, and I feel like eventually Phoenix Fire is going to close this out, but anything could happen.
Absolutely, anything can happen. I mean, it's a new map. Things have changed. But then again, like we said, FFire, they showed a lot of coordination on their T side, knowing a lot of smokes and flashes. They obviously have put their time in on this one. And you can see it showing here as they are mounting a pretty good comeback here. It's already tied up at 12-12. Round number 25 underway. It's a 5v4 in favor of the CT side of FFire. Salmo dying early in the round. And it does look like it's going to be a B take here. You see 3 Ts over towards B. The only player who wasn't was Robbie, the lurk man for DWG, and he's going to be falling back towards door, and they just run into it again. Joey cleaning up. Gets 2 quick frags. Foundless responds, but Justin is there, and now Robbie taking a bit of damage in that molly. He's going to try and find the angle onto Justin, who is over by Toxic Barrel. But this is a very tough take. Wow, nice shot from Robbie to take down the upper and upper. That's going to be Silent going down. So putting some money damage. Takes down Justin as well and makes it a 1v2. These CTs of FFire have to be careful. This player, more than capable. Robbie 1's going to find one in pit. Goes for the spray down. Not going to get him. A very expensive round there for FFire. And, you know, kind of showing the individual talent level on DWG. They have players with some very good skill. Robbie 1 obviously played for... What was it? Was he on Rhythm?
I believe it was Rhythm.
He was on Rhythm,
so.
which has since become Ascendancy, which is now Tempo Storm. He also played with the old Mythic lineup back in CVOP. So, I mean, he's a talented player, plenty of experience, and you can see it just shining right there.
Almost able to make it happen, but not close enough as money here on the T side. Once again, FFire could find themselves at 14 rounds and pretty darn close to closing things out. So, I like the idea in that last round. Well, it's an interesting idea where you smoke out of long pipe, and of course, the downside with an eco round, if you're just rushing, like we saw. Wow, nice shot there from Silent. He's watching that boost area. Takes off the head of Robbie, so nice frag comes in, but what I was getting at is you want to try and catch them at the choke points. That's why Joey, in that one round, he was able to just, like, clothesline so many players as they're coming out of that tunnel. Is still inside of that choke point, but they smoke outside of it, so they can hopefully get a flashbang in and basically flood out of that smoke. But obviously, running through smoke, we all know, if they're not full blind on the other side, they're going to get you. So Joey was waiting for it. And FFire with another round here, as DWG just not able to make anything work in that last round.
This is just an important thing to note. When we've seen FFire on the CT side, just to give you guys an idea of how good it's been, only once have they lost more than 3 rounds on the CT side. Right now, they've lost 2. So they're already 1 round away. So the most they've lost besides 1 game, which was against Torqued in the lower bracket of, I believe it was our New Year's Open tournament, where they actually lost 11. Torqued had an amazing T side that game. They have been that good on the CT side, sometimes only giving up 1 or 2 rounds total. And you can see that's just why they're able to mount this comeback. Their CT side just working out wonderfully. It's been some close rounds, but almost always they've been able to pull it out somehow. So
look at Emong right now. He has found his way all the way behind, and oh, he might be able to get Robbie and Salmo as they're sending these nades into sight. I think he's just going to be a little bit delayed here. Oh no! Should be able to find Robbie as he's running up behind. They're running as well, so he's able to do this, and he gets the double kill. Huge pickup for the CT side. Emong heads up play as he's able to sneak all the way around, and now very tough position as they want to capitalize on the fact that they know where Emong is, and they try, but he gets another frag in. Carbon eventually able to get that, but it is going to be 3v2 as they attempt to push into bomb site B. It's only Fabian now. He's behind the smoke, and Silent takes him out shotgun style with that AWP. 15 rounds, match point for FFire.
Emong is a great pickup for them. You know, he did replace Adwait, who also really didn't play terribly, but you know, Emong, I shouldn't say years of experience, I should just say experience. He has experience at an invite level. He used to play with the old Curse lineup, which eventually became iBuyPower. That team did become iBuyPower. I mean, the roster changed so much throughout the years, you can't even really call it the same team, but it was the same team, in fact. And he played with Skadoodle and Michael 3D and Juvenile, and it was a great team when they played, so he does have plenty of experience. He's probably a name that catches some people off guard if they don't have much knowledge on the scene. Right now, though, it is down to a 4v3. It's going to be Fabian, Carbon, and Fablis trying to fight off match point for FFire here. On the opposite side, Joey, the only player dead for the CT side. Bomb still making its way up towards long right now, and that is on the back of Fabian, and there goes Fablis, so it's a 2v4 now. Fabian and Carbon, they're going to try and make this happen. Fabian, the bottom fragger for his team, not really having a great game. He's 11 and 21. Carbon hanging out in the middle, 16 and 20. But they are going to have to contend with a double off buy here. Silent and Ellie both holding down those scoped rifles and both on A. So there's Ellie with a nice headshot on Carbon. So Fabian, good luck to you, bud. You're the last one standing, and he's going to go down to the pistol of Silent. And that's going to be it here. FFire taking it 16 to 12. A closer score than I honestly would have anticipated.
Me as well. I think our predictions was I was 16 to 8 FFire. Yours was 16 to 4, I believe, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Just to call you out there. I'm sorry.